Hi everyone, welcome back for another functional fitness session. My name's Neil from Active Performance Kings Cliffe. We're going to be going for a full body workout today, working upper body, lower body and a little bit of core. And what we're going to be doing is trying to work at different tempos and different rep ranges to really cause some damage in that muscle, which is going to help improve your muscle tone. And we're going to keep moving consistently through the workout to keep that heart rate elevated and burn some calories. Okay, we're going to get straight in with a warm up and then I'll explain the program as we go on. Okay, so find yourself a little bit of space. We're going to start off by going forward lunge with your right leg up to center and then reverse lunge up to center. Same leg, keep that head and chest up, just get nice and warm. Nice big steps, weights through the heel on the front leg as we come forward, weights through the heel on the front leg as we go backwards. Good stuff, one more of those and changing legs. So nice big step forward, together, backwards, together. Good, head and chest up, like I keep saying, weight through those heels, get those legs nice and warm. As you start to loosen off, we can take those strides a little bit bigger, or if you need to, you can just start off with a smaller range of motion, just getting used to it. Okay, then we're going to go side to side, so we're going to open up those hips. We're going to take a side lunge, push those hips back, open up the hips, up to center, and then you can use your arms as a counterbalance, try and slide the foot behind, get a nice stretch in that glute, and back to the middle. So side, together, lean across, together. Good. So open up those hips, out to the side, and then glide that leg behind, just to get nice and warm, working those legs in different directions, stretch out those hips and change leg. So nice and wide, hips go backwards, slide out to the side, get a nice stretch on the outside of that glute. And again, as you can tell, heart rate's raising, should be a little bit out of breath, just getting everything moving. Weight through those heels, try and keep that chest up. Good stuff. Good, we'll have one more of those. Lost count. Perfect. So work forwards, backwards, side to side. So you get them hamstrings nice and warm. So nice tight back, core in tight. We're going to lower ourselves down, opposite hand towards opposite foot, and then standing up for a little arabesque. Okay, you can get that back leg long, have a slight bend in the knee. Just keep that back nice and straight, stretch that hamstring out and then stand it through. Nice and controlled. Lengthen those hamstrings. If that's a bit difficult, just go double leg for me. So just keep that back nice and straight. Good, a couple more for me on that leg. Try and stay nice and balanced. Also lifting that back leg up as well, so we're squeezing that glute and switching that on and change leg. Again, try and keep them shoulders square. Try and go opposite hand to opposite foot. Sometimes you find if you go same hand to same foot, you end up twisting. So just try and keep them shoulders square, stretch them hamstrings out. Try and focus on a point just in front of you. Nice and controlled, and we'll just get them hamstrings forward. Good, just gonna get into them shoulders. So we're gonna do a little cubic rotation with a press. So elbows up nice and high, elbows at 90 degrees. We're going to rotate, push up, back to 90. Rotate down, we'll have 10 of those. So we're just warming up those rotator cuffs in the shoulders. Get those shoulders nice and warm, loosen off. As you start to warm up and mobilize, you might be able to take them palms down a little bit further. So just stretching out those shoulders. Nice and controlled, keep those elbows high. Keep those shoulder blades pinned together, chest nice and proud. Good stuff. Couple more. Last one. Perfect. So I'm just going to mobilise that spine, so we're going to take it down onto the floor. Get knees up into the chest, use your hands for support, and we're just going to let those knees roll to one side, and then up and over to the other side. Try and keep those shoulders on the ground, use your arms for support and balance. Squeeze that core to pull those legs over. Couple more. Perfect, and then we're going to get those glutes firing. So on our back, heels digging into the ground, drive those hips up, control it down. 10 reps, squeeze those glutes, get those hips nice and high. Good. Drive the hips to the ceiling. Really squeeze the glutes. Get them hammies firing as well. A couple more of those. Perfect. And then just switching that core and those glutes on again. Just to finish us off, a little bird dog. So we're going to take a position on all fours. Corns in nice and tight. So don't let that back up. You want to tuck that pelvis in. Okay, squeeze those out. And we're going to try and extend opposite arms, opposite legs. Come together and change. But the whole time, we're trying to keep that core tucked in. So we don't end up in this position. We keep that core engaged. Really squeeze that glute. And really squeeze the back of the shoulder as well. So activating the glutes, activating the posterior delts, stabilizing those joints before we start, and really squeeze those abs. Try not to rotate. Good, one more each side. Tuck that pelvis in, big reach forward, and relax there. We get to it. Okay, then everyone, into the main session. So what we're going to be doing, we've got 5 exercises. We've got 3 for the lower body, 2 for the upper body, and we're going to be working for 1 minute. Instead of 1 minute continuous, we're going to break it down. So 20 seconds are going to be full range repetitions, 20 seconds are going to be partial range repetitions, and 20 seconds is going to be an isometric hold. So we work that muscle through a full range, then we start to isolate it, and then we isometrically hold it at the end when it's fatigued and really get it working, okay? Throughout the whole workout, if you need to rest at any point, just take a rest, have a breather, carry on, and I'll give you some options as well to regress the exercises, okay? So on to the first exercise, we're going to do a bodyweight squat. So we want weight through the heels, head and chest up, driving those knees out to the sides, use those hands as a counterbalance. So we're trying to get to parallel if we can, keeping that chest up, and then just driving through. So our full reps will be looking like this. Okay, our partial reps will be in this little mid-range, just pulsing, pushing through the heels, and then our isometric hold, we're nice and strong, pushing those knees out to the sides, okay? To make that a little bit easier, just reduce the range of motion, okay? So your full reps might look something like this, and then your partials will be a little bit higher, and then your isometric hold will be a bit higher. If you need to rest at any point, take a rest, okay? First round, let's go. Excellent work. First one down, so we're into the second exercise, which again is another leg exercise. I want to keep the legs together, work them back to back, just to make it a little bit more intense. So we're going to take a split squat or a lunge. So your first 30 seconds is going to be full range. So lunge with your right leg up together. Lunge up together. So we're nice and deep, weights through the heel, drive up, okay? Partial reps will be a split squat, so knees over the ankle. You can use your hands as a counterbalance, and we're down and through. Really pushing through this front leg and driving up, okay? And then our isometric hold is in that bottom, holding that front leg strong. As always, reduce that range of motion so we can just lunge not so deep, okay? And we can pulse and hold not so deep. All right, let's give it a go. Good stuff. So the next three exercises are going to be on the floor. Obviously the first two exercises are very quad and glute dominant with the squats and the lunges. So we can get some bridges in to really isolate those glutes but also hit those hamstrings a little bit, okay? So we're going to be lying on the floor. We're going to go single leg bridge. 1 minute on one leg and then 1 minute on the other leg. So weight through the heels. We're driving those hips up. One leg's off the ground. We dip, drive, okay? 20 seconds there. 20 seconds of pulsing in that top range, and then a 20-second hold, nice and strong. Keep those hips up, okay? If you want to make that easier, you can do 2 sets of double legs. So double leg bridge, okay, and then pulsing at the top, squeeze those glutes, and then holding nice and strong. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're working, last scene. Right, next exercise, into some push-ins. So we're going to go into some press-ups, okay? So again, hardest option, normal push-up, hands underneath the shoulders, core's in nice and tight, full range, all the way up, all the way down, partial range, just working in that mid-range, and then isometric hold, nice and strong. If you want to make that easier, drop those knees down, press-ups on those knees. If you want to make it even easier, we can bring those knees right in, just to reduce the weight that we're pushing up. Okay, let's go. So you should be feeling that one right across the chest, the shoulders, and into the triceps as well. That was tough. Okay, final exercise for the upper body. We're going to try and hit the opposite muscles. So we're going to try and work the back. Okay, so we can go for a back raise, but I really want you to try and open up those shoulders and really squeeze those rear delts at the back. Okay, so we are going to be lying down on the front, or on your arms out to the sides like you're parachuting at 90 degrees, and we're going to raise fully up and down. So we're working that lower back, but also working the upper back to get a squeeze between those shoulder blades, okay? So full range, and then pulsing at the top, and then a nice big isometric hold. Really engage those upper back muscles. Really nice if you've been working on a computer all day and everything starts to get a little bit tight across the chest. If you want to make that a bit easier, don't worry too much about getting your hands as high. You can bring them into your head, keep your elbows a little bit lower, and just work through a normal back raise. If you want to make that even easier, hands on the floor, and you can just assist the movement just to help you get a bit higher and also to hold it as well, but just try not to rely on those hands too much. Okay, let's go. Brilliant stuff, and then into the final round. So we've just got some core to finish off. It's just 4 minutes of work. It's a mini accumulator. So how this works is it's 30 seconds of exercise number 1, 30 seconds rest, 30 seconds of exercise 1, 30 seconds of exercise 2, 30 rest, and then 1, 2, 3, and you're done. Okay, so I'll quickly show you the 3 exercises, and then we'll get going. So first exercise is just going to be some nice straightforward crunches to isolate those abs and fatigue those abs before we start. So hardest option, hands behind the head, and we're just raising those shoulders off the ground just to squeeze those abs, and we're down. So it's just a small little motion there. If you want to make it easier, hands across the chest, and we're coming up. And if you want to make it even easier, hands on the thighs, and we're just reaching for those knees, okay? Exercise number 2 is going to be an isometric hold, so it's going to be a rope pull. So abs are going to be held in nice and tight, eyes looking forward, and we're pretending that we're pulling a rope in, okay? If you want to make that harder, come down a bit lower, keep squeezing that core. If you want to make it easier, you can just sit yourself up a bit higher, but squeeze that core, and we've got a bit of rotation in there. And then the final exercise is a plank with a rotation. So those abs will be pretty fatigued by now, so that's going to make it a little bit harder. So finishing off strong, nice strong plank position, core's tucked in nice and tight, so we're not arching here. And we're just going to rotate and reach back to centre, rotate and reach back to centre. We can drop that down onto our knees. Okay, so we're just holding less weight and just rotating side to side, or we can just hold it nice and still just to finish off. Okay, let's go. Good stuff. Hopefully you found that quite challenging. As always, there's options to regress throughout. Take a rest whenever you need to, but that's fantastic. We've hit a little bit of everything. You will be quite sore tomorrow because we've obviously damaged the muscles a little bit. If you did want to take a little stretch, just loosen those muscles off at the end of the session, but don't worry about holding it for too long. If you did want to focus a little bit more on mobility, we do have a specific mobility session as well on the channel. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and keep up to date with the videos, and we'll see you again soon.